What's up, guys? I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow on Twitch. So if you want to say hi, ask some questions, or just hang out, then make sure to swing by at 11 o'clock Eastern. I'll see you there. Karens of all types. Okay, this one is going to be a little different than what most of you are used to. I work on the West Coast, running my own business as a cybersecurity consultant. I'm 35 and have been in this business a very long time. I have around 10 employees. However, the one we just hired is a special case. Very special. She is one of the dumbest smart people I know, and her attitude says she graduated with honors from an Ivy League school, and that means she owns you. Since I'm the owner of the business, I leave most duties to my senior security engineers, so she has probably only seen me a few times in the 3 months she's worked for me. Cast. K equals Karen, me equals yours truly, MF equals Motherfimina manager friend. I was out shopping for supplies in the office, and I decided I was gonna stop by my local Sam's Club for some lunch. I used to work there when I was in my early 20s, and I was friends with the now manager of the specific store while we were cashiers together. It's worth mentioning that since I was headed to the office after this, I was dressed in my formal business attire. I promise it comes into play later. The Sam's Club Cafe has some of the best food, in my opinion, for the price that they offer. I finish my food and have a chat with MF. MF leaves to go do manager things, and I go to throw away my paper plate that was provided to me for my pizza when I start hearing screaming coming from the cafe counter, which isn't even 10 feet away. I look over to see what is happening. Karen. What do you mean you're out of frozen yogurt? Do you idiots even keep anything stocked? This was a common thing to happen in the summertime, since everyone loves their frozen yogurt. Karen looks at me and rushes over. Manager, are you going to do something about this? I want this little bitch fired right this instant. He was rude and called me a bitch for asking for frozen yogurt. Me. I don't work. She cuts me off before I could continue, but it was then I started to realize she looks familiar. Karen. I don't care. You will fire this little brat right now, or I'm contacting corporate over this. After that, it clicked. She's my employee. Me. I can't do anything for you because I don't work here. I thought about telling her, but I wanted to see where this goes. Karen jabs her finger into my chest as hard as she can and twists it. Listen, you idiot. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm a league smarter than you. The only reason you work here is because you're a reject who couldn't finish college. I almost bust out laughing at that comment, but I composed myself. At this point, the actual manager, MF, comes running over and asks what's wrong. Before I could explain, Karen steps in. Karen. He, pointing at me, assaulted me and verbally abused me while refusing to fire this employee. The girl behind the cafe counter, who at this point looked visibly horrified. And as his boss, you better fire him right this instant. If you don't, I'll have all your jobs, you insignificant clowns. Yeah, she really said that. She called us clowns. How ironic. Me, pretty much fed up now, I revealed my real identity. Karen, I'm, insert name here, the owner of, insert company name here, the consultancy you work for. We just hired you a couple months ago, right? I show her my badge with title name and picture on it. Her face turned whiter than snow. MF. I saw her jabbing her finger into you. The cops are already on their way. I didn't think it was possible, but her face turned even whiter than it was before. She looked like she was about to hurl. Anyway, the cops show up, look at the security footage, and without even asking me anything, they handcuff her and take her away. They look at me and ask me if I wanted to press charges, and I said yes. Court date pending. And later find out from MF that she yanked the cafe girl by the collar, slapped her, and pushed her back before I had seen her yelling. I asked the cops if I could have a word with her before they drove her away, since she's my employee. They said yes, and I walked up to her, sitting in the cop car, hands cuffed behind her back. She is about to speak, but I held my finger up in front of her face. Me. For someone who graduated with honors at insert Ivy League school here, you're pretty dumb. I was never impressed with your work, and now that you're here, I doubt you'll ever get a job in the security field again. Don't bother showing up for work anymore. I had to add that last part, cause I knew she'd be out on bail. Her husband is pretty wealthy too. Never thought I'd run into a Karen that actually worked for me. I think moments like these are why shows like Undercover Boss even exist, because it's so sweet to just have someone be a Karen or a Chad to you, and then just turn around and say, oh, by the way, you're fired. Dumbest person ever. You got some competition, Karen? I used to work as a paramedic in a large city. A Home Depot opened right at the street corner we were supposed to sit at. Me and my partner were both new homeowners, as was a police unit in the area, so we all go in together. They were having some nice sales on tools that we all could use. Some guy comes up to me, asking for help getting something behind the locked case. I just look at him and say, sorry, I don't work here. Then he goes to my partner and asks the same thing. Now, as most people know, the Home Depot uniforms are orange. Myself and my partner are dressed in navy blue pants, topped with the word paramedics in 4 in letters on the back. No way we can be confused for Home Depot employees. But it gets better. He then goes up to the police officers, again, big letters on their back saying, police. The cops just look at him and go, are you drunk or stupid? After a bit of conversation of more of this, they take his ID and run his name. He was on probation, had an active warrant out for his arrest, and was trying to buy a box cutter, in violation of his probation. Yep, he spent the night in lockup. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need some celebrity-styled game show to find out which of these two are truly the biggest idiot. I'm going with story number 2 personally. Found out I had another job and did a perfect work week. Also could not resign. So this was 5 years ago. I got a message from a bank that I had a large sum of money waiting for me, and that I needed to provide my employer with the correct bank account so they could transfer it. Great! Sadly, my company had no clue what I was talking about when I asked them. I call the bank and they tell me it's from another company. I actually was on an interview at the company, but turned down their offer. So I call the company. Me. I get a weekly salary from you. The problem is I don't work here, and I need you to reclaim the money. Receptionist. When did you quit your job? I can't find your resignation letter. Me. Never. I have never worked for you. R. But you work here. I can't take the salary back. Our salary is correct. You have a perfect score. You did 40 hours a week last month. Me. Great. I also did the same hours at my company, so I'm a busy person then. Seriously, I don't work here. Some lazy manager must be sending you perfect scores since there is nothing else to report. R. Do you want to leave your 1-month notice? Me. No, please just remove me. I don't work for you. R. A little frustrated. I can't. You need to fill out a resignation letter, give it to your manager, and work your last month. Or else you could get fined for not following the contract. Me. I absolutely refuse. But I want you to find the paperwork I signed when I started my employment and read it out loud to me. R. I can't find it. It's not here. When did you sign it? Me. I didn't. R. I don't get it. You don't work here and did not sign anything? I'll call you back. A couple of hours later, she calls me back, ranting about how it's a criminal act to keep the money and that I need to return it all at once. Well, I tried. So this guy called them He went out of his way to reach out to this company and give a large lump sum of money back and not keep it for himself. And the first thing she does isn't to say, "Thank you so much for being honest in returning this money." No, it's to try and scare him with criminal charges if he doesn't return the money. Truly another fine example of a Karen in her natural habitat. Alrighty guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. And just as a reminder, starting up Twitch at 11 o'clock Eastern, so if you want to drop by and say hi, I'll see you then. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.